ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्वन्धकारो वैरुकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ प्रज्ञानां शुभप्रतानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पुनरपि दिशनोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ्मायया भोजयन्नः मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परम् अमृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। एतैरेषो पृथग्भावैः पृथगेवेति लक्षितः एवं यो वेद तत्त्वेन कल्पयेत् सोऽविशङ्कितः। स्वप्नमाये यथा दृष्टे गन्धर्वनगरं यथा तथा विश्वमिदं दृष्टं वेदान्तेषु विचक्षणैः। न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता। एतैः एषः अपृथग्भावैः एतैः एषः पृथगेव इति लक्षितः। यः एवं वेद तत्त्वेन कल्पयेत् सः अविशङ्कितः कल्पयेत्। The Karikakara, having discussed number of different siddhantas, he is ramping down to make the upasamhara or conclusion of this prakarana. Vaitatya prakaranam used yukti to establish the mithyatvam of the perceived jagat. And one of the key things in the mithya jagat is the effort to understand the truth of the jagat, leading to different types of philosophies and theologies and religions. This is also a fact. It is a fact that there are numerous ways in which people try to arrive at as the truth of the jagat. So that is where the different philosophies were spoken about. It can be called philosophies, theologies, or points of view on what is the truth of the jagat, what is going on here. So that pursuit is part of every person. Okay, everyone has a worldview. There is any logically thinking person, he or she has his or her own view of what does he or she think is this jagat in some form or the other. There is some, they may not have concluded fully, but there is a view. And people either subscribe to certain philosophies or theologies or have their own view. Some, you ask anybody, they will have their own view. They will say that, okay, this is how the world is, everything is nature, or everything is, there is a god, there is no god, there is so many, or there is some people will say action only matters, you have to be righteous, being righteous only matters, it doesn't need to, there doesn't need to be any god, you have to be truthful, honesty is what is needed, all kinds of things, right? But essentially there is a point of view that everybody holds, that this is what is the thing, what is going on. And there are structured philosophies also within that, or theologies or points of views, or so that is what was covered. So the Karikakara brought in all those, at least in his time, whatever were the structured philosophies or darshanas, even beyond all the Vedika darshanas and all, he brought in so many of them. And said people, depending on how they see, they see. Okay. And for that, there is always people who subscribe to it. And people who subscribe to those shastras are protected because of their shraddha by that shastra. Their shraddha protects them. They have certain upasanas, they have certain fundamental beliefs, and that is how, and that protects them. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहं मम वर्त्मा एव अनुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. So whatever is the path each person follows, and based on the shraddha and the guru bhakti they have with the acharya who has founded those philosophies and theologies and systems of worships, that protects them, and they gain some form of benefit from that. So nothing wrong, that is what was spoken in the previous verse actually. Yam bhavam darshayed yasya tam bhavam satu pashyati tam cha avati saha bhutva asau tad grahaha samupaititam. It protects them, whatever is what they believe, that protects. But whether it is truth or not is what is the discussion. Whatever has been spoken, so many of the points of views, we still have to see what is the truth, satyatvam. Again, the final lakshya, in terms of what are you seeking? Are you seeking to understand the truth, or are you looking for liberation from all the sufferings you have? So, if your understanding of the Jagat doesn't give you that freedom, then what use is it? What benefit is that kind of following gives you? So, therefore, that also, pala is what is also important. So, you have to look at all that. So, now the summary here is getting to that. Etaihi pranadibihi atmanaha apritak bhutaihi. This is important. Bhashyakara says, all this prana and other things, whatever is the belief, however a person looks at the Jagat, saying whether it is 25 based on 25 principles or 31 principles, he spoke about all that Pashupatamata and all those things, right? Now, each of this way, what you see, whether you see it as 31 principle or 25 principles, or is it based on Sankhya or whatever it is, are all these understanding separate from Atma. Pranadibihi Atmanaha Apritak Bhutaihi. Whatever you see and however you see, in any which number of principles you model the whole Jagat, is that modeling away from your Atma? Is it being pervaded by your Atma or not? So this Pranadibihi also can be taken in another way, right? Prana is taken as the Karana Atma. And if you take it as Avyakta, Avyakrita Atma, and then Sukshma Jagat, Stula Jagat, and all that. There also, all of those, whatever you see, whatever philosophies that come in, they all play into your vacant state, which is Vishwa. In the Vishwa only, all of those are your understanding, whether it is any of those philosophies or even Advaita, all those things are part of your vacant only. And that state, the dream state, even in samashti sense, including the prana, which is Bijatma, are they away from Atma? Or are they pervaded by Atma? So, apritak bhutaihi, it is all not pritak from Atma. At any point, anything you cannot separate from Atma. Without them being lighted up by Atma. So, the Swatav Prakasham, the Swaprakasha Vastu is Atma only. Everything Anubhati. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं न इमा विद्युतः भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वम्. Everything is lighted up by the sun, but including sun, everything is lighted up by the Atmas too. Without Atma Prakasha lighting them up, nothing is seen. So there is no Pritak Bhava. So they are Apritak Bhutaihi, Apritak Bhavaihi, Yeshaha Atma, Rajjuriva, Sarpadi Vikalpana Rupaihi. So it is like the Rajju. Whether you see a Sarpa or a Danda or a Dara, the Rajju only pervades all of them. In fact, pervades also is just a figure of expression. It is only Rajju which is there. But we say it pervades the Sarpa, it pervades the Danda, it pervades the Dara. Like that, this Atma pervades the Jagat. Pervades means what? Only Atma is there. That's all. But it's expression. Because you see a Jagat. So as a Tatastha Lakshana, just like a crow sitting on the antenna on a house, you show the crow and then say where the crow is sitting is the house. So crow has nothing to do with the house. But then to show the house, you have to show the crow. Likewise, here also we say this Jagat is pervaded by Atma Vastu. But actually, Jagat has nothing to do with Atma. There is only Atma. There is no Jagat. So we say the Sarpa is Rajju. Is there any Sarpa? There is no Sarpa. You are saying that you are showing only Rajju. If you just say there is only Rajju, the person won't see. Because the person is right now seeing a snake. Because person is seeing a snake, you have to tell that snake is Rajju. Or snake is pervaded by Rajju. Everything in the snake is only Rajju. The shape of the snake is shape of the Rajju. The color of the snake is color of the Rajju. So only your conclusion that it is dangerous, it is poisonous, it will bite me, that is where the problem is. So to show that there is no such thing as Sarpa, you have to say that Sarpa is nothing but Raju. But actually there is only Raju. Likewise, here also, Jagat is pervaded by Atma. Therefore, Apritak Bhutaihi, the Pritaktum is not there. Every part of the Jagat, what is there is only Atma. Pratibodha Viditam. Every bodham, every cognition, when you say there is a cognition, including deep sleep, all that is there is only Atma. But Prithagevedi Lakshitaha, Abhilakshitaha, Nischitaha, Mudaihi. But since people don't see the rope yet, they are afraid. Oh, then they say this is snake, this will bite. This is danda, you can take it and beat somebody. Or you can say it is dara, so just don't put your leg on it, you will slip. All that. Similarly, about this Jagat, people have different notions. God is always looking at you. There will be a judgment day. So you will be put into hell. All those, everything, every fear, and this world is after me. My dasha is bad. So I am going to be, in pain. this I am not fit to be in this world, people hate me, I am not liked by anyone. All those is about this Mithya Jagat only. Mudaihi Pridageveti Lakshitaha Vivekinam tu Rajwamiva Kalpitaha Sarpadeyaha Na Atma Vyatirekena Pranadayaha Santi iti Abhiprayaha. So for the ones who are Vivekis, who can discriminate between what is there and what is not there, it's straightforward. What is difficult here? Just see anything that you are seeing right now and see whether it is pervaded by the Atma or not. Simple. Your cognition right now, you are hearing this. Is your hearing pervaded by the Surupa or not? You are seeing this something in front of you, the screen. Is that sight not pervaded by Atma, or is it? So you are touching the ground. Is the touch pervaded by the Atma Vastu, the consciousness, awareness or not? You are thinking about something right now. Is your thought pervaded by Atma Vastu or not? You are feeling happy, sad, whatever, some emotion. Is that emotion pervaded by Atma Vastu or not? You are having some memory. Is that memory pervaded by the Atma Vastu Chaitanya or not? Time. Is time existing pervaded by Atma or not? Is the space pervaded by Atma Vastu or not? You can see what is so difficult. It is all pervaded at every point of time, and including time, everything is pervaded. That is Viveka. Now there can be some doubt, so you can still have Mananam and all that, but the Darshanam is very easy. So Vivekinam, the person who can have the ability to just discriminate what is me and what is not me. There is no not me. It's like Rajvam Sarpakalpana. Kalpidas Sarpadeyaha na Atma Vyatirekena Pranadayaha Santi. Just like Sarpa doesn't exist without Rajju. All this experience doesn't exist without being pervaded by Atma Vastu. So this is Yukti. That if you see, and is it, then the question is it a Pramana Prapta or is it my own conclusion? That's where Pramana is important. See, it's a point, it's a vision, and the vision is understandable when presented if you can see it. But the question will come, is it like, is there separately objects like chair and stool and tree and all that, and then me as a conscious entity seeing those tangible objects? Or is it real that I am also able to see what is being told, that it is pervaded, but at the same time I also have this doubt whether it is two different things. Are there objects and then there is a consciousness inside this body? Or is it true that all that is there is within the consciousness, because without consciousness being there, there is none of it? Which one is true? Now, the both visions are visions, right? Now you need pramana to reinforce it. That is why pramana buddhi is also an important thing. Because pramana praptam only is a jnanam. Otherwise, how will you conclude whether this vision is a fact or that vision is a fact? Okay, one is dismissed by the other. Okay, but then this doubt will always be there, right? That's why pramana is essential. Idam sarvam yad ayam atma iti shrutehe. The Shabda Pramana actually reveals it and also reinforces it. Okay. And it is evident. Once you see it, it's not that it is a dismissible knowledge. We are not saying that. But for your jnanam to become firmed up. Okay. So Shruti Pramana, it reveals, and also what I am saying is it reinforces. That's why you have to quote the Shruti also here, right? Because what is the Pramana? What is, because a knowledge is a knowledge only if it is through a valid means of knowing. Here there is a conclusion being made. A conclusion is made by because of a vision that you are having. Okay, the same thing, same world you are still seeing, the same sun and moon and chair you are seeing. There's nothing has changed, but the way you look at it has changed. Now, the way you look at it has changed. Is it rooted on a pramana, a means by which are you seeing it, or is it just a kapola kalpita thing? So therefore, pramana, Shruti Vakya is, it's not a belief. Again, here see the pramana is misunderstood, right? Even other Vaidika Darshikas also quote Vedanta as a pramana. They say this is a pramana. Veda has said this, so it is a pramana. They also use, but then they use it as a authority. It has said that, so you have to believe it. Veda is a pramana. It has told you to do it, so you must do it. So that is how they interpret a pramana. Okay. So basically, they are attributing an authority to the book and then say it is a pramana. Like other religions say Bible is a pramana, Quran is a whatever, right? So they, our Vedic Darshikas also look at it the same way. But here we are saying it's a direct means to know what is. It's not only a belief. It makes you see it. So it's not just you have to believe it. It is showing you what it is, and then you get that vision that is called aparoksha jnanam. Yadidam sarvam ayamatma. Idam sarvam yet tad ayamatma. We saw that in the last session. This is Badayam Samanadikaranyam. Badayam Samanadikaranyam, because see what is a Samanadikaranyam? Two things are resolving into a same object. Adhikarana is same, but two words, two padas are there. Padana, two or more padas are there. So padanam samanadikaranyam, all the padas are in the same apposition. They have the same voice, gender, whatever, pointing to the same adhikarana. But between them, what is the relationship? It is typically it is Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. Okay, one is an adjective, few are adjectives, one is a substantive, like Neelam Magat Sugandhi Utpalam. Each one of them is a Visheshanam for Utpalam. But in this case, one is different from the other. Like Sthanurayam Purusha means the Sthanu and Purusha are two different things. They can't be same. One is Jada, other is Chetana. Now, how can there be a Samanadikaranyam? It is called Bada Samanadikaranyam. One thing goes away, another thing stays. So, what you see as Purusha is actually Sthanu. The Chetanatvam is removed, and then basically what you thought to be a Purusha is actually a Sthanu, is only a wood. So that is how that is called Badayam Samanadikaranya. So this Idam Sarvam is this cognition. Ayam Atma, this Pratyagatma is I cognition. How can Yushmadasmat Pratyegocharayoho Vishaya Vishayinoho Samah Prakasavad Viruddha Swabhavayoho, like the Adhyasa Bhashya Bhashyakara talks about in the Sutra Bhashya, it is the same thing. It's a Bada Samanadikaranya. What is known as this cognition can never be I cognition. What is known through I cognition can never be this cognition. But then they are equated, means there is a, you remove some part of it and then say, or one of it, and then say the one doesn't, what you see as one is actually the other. So what is seen as idam sarvam is nothing but I am Atma. That is called Bada Samanadikaranya. We saw this in detail in the last session. Evam Atma Vyatirekena Asatvam Rajju Sarpavate Atmanikalpitanam Atmanam cha Kevalam Nirvikalpam Yaha Veda Tatvena Shrutitaha Yuktitascha. Atma Vyatirekena Asatvam. This is what is important. The Satta Spurti Pradhanam for anything is given by the Atma. Because you look at anything, it reduces to something else. That thing reduces to something else. We have seen this. What is seen as wall reduces to bricks and cement. What is seen as bricks reduces to some atoms, molecules. It keeps everything you look at, it turns out to be something else. It doesn't seem to have an existence. And the existence for them, the satta is only through by given by my own surupa. There is no other sattva. Any other thing you see it as satyam, but actually it turns out to be asat by itself. It doesn't stand the scrutiny because there is nothing. Only thing that doesn't go away is my surupa. Everything else resolves into something else, something else, something else. Therefore, Atma Vyatirekena Asatvam for everything. There is no existence. That Satta, only thing that you can always say exists is me. That alone exists. Everything, just look at it, analyze it, doesn't exist. Look at it, analyze it. Drishtanashta swabhava. Yadyad drishtam, and in which when you are seeing it itself, it is gone. Just when you are looking at it, just see it by through Viveka, it is gone. Like the snake went away in Raju. Because it never existed, honestly. That is what it is. It didn't go away. So Atma Vyatirekena Asatvam Raju Sarpavat Atmani Kalpitanam Atmanancha Kevalam Nirvikalpam. There is no Vikalpa in Atma. There is no attribute. Where is the attribute in consciousness? Consciousness is white or black. Consciousness has hands, legs, and all that? No. Consciousness has time in it. It was there for some time. No. There is no time. There is no space. There is no guna. There is nothing. It is not even available for objectification. Only what can be objectified can have guna. Vikalpa. So it is nirvikalpa. There is no vikalpa there. That's the only thing which is nirvikalpa. Everything else has a vikalpa. Kalpitanam सर्पवत् आत्मनि कल्पितानाम् आत्मानं च केवलं निर्विकल्पं यः वेद तत्वेन. So you can see this, you can understand. There is no vikalpa in Atma, in consciousness, awareness. Only vritti can have a vikalpa, not swarupa. See that too, again people confuse with the mental vritti to Atma. Vritti means the change on which the consciousness reflects, which is your mind. Mind perceives, okay, buddhi and manaha, it undergoes change. So right now I am seeing a laptop, then I turn around, I see a wall, turn up, I see the roof, look outside, I see the sky. So there is a vritti that I am looking, this I am seeing, all that is vritti, mano vritti. But that vritti is due to what? What obtains in the vritti is awareness consciousness, which is chinmatra swarupa. That is your swarupa. Everything else, the vrittitvam is also superimposed on swarupa only. It is kshanikam only. That vrittitvam is kshanikam. Atma vastu is not kshanikam. Because that for seeing a movement or change, something should be unchanging. Then only you can see. To witness movement, something that is witnessing it should be stagnant, stable. Therefore, that is nirvikalpa vastu. Everything else is vikalpa. Kevalam nirvikalpam yaha veda tatvena shrutitascha. So Shruti also says it is nirvikalpam yuktitaha cha saha avishankitaha vedartham vibhagataha kalpayet kalpayati. Without any doubt, that person clearly understands what the Veda Vakyas are saying. Idam evam param vakyam adaha anyat param iti. So this also I think we saw in the last class that Veda Artha is clearly understood only by the person who understands Atmavastu. So whether this particular Vakya is talking about Vastu or it is some karma related or is it something else. So it is clearly understood, because the context of Vakya has to be understood. The import of Veda Vakyas have to be understood. Everything is not talking only about Atma. So again, that distinction has to be done. Therefore, that is why why he has to say this, because there are so many darshanas. That is what he spoke about so far, right? That so there are Vaidika darshanas, Avaidika darshanas. People who look at Veda as a pramana also come up with different conclusions, because there is no clarity on what is told by what. Atma Atatvamasi, all that. So evam param vakyam idam adaha anyat param vakyam iti. That clarity can be done only if Atma is understood. Nahi anadhyatmavit vedan jnatum shaknoti tatpataha. Nahi anadhyatmavit kaschit kriyapalam upashnate iti manavam vachanam. This also we saw, I think, last week. Swapnamaye yata drishte gandharva nagaram yatha तथा विश्वमिदं दृष्टं वेदांतेषु विचक्षणैः. स्वप्नमाये यथा दृष्टे, just like how the swapna and the magic maya are seen, similarly how a gandharva nagaram, a world, a city seen in the sky, in the clouds, people imagine a world, right? So that also, these are drishtantas given. Tatha Vishwamidam Drishtam Vedanteshu Vichakshanehi. In the Vedanta Vakya, the world is understood how Vedanta reveals about this world. Now he brings from Yukti is getting to Shruti. Yukti alone cannot establish something. Because if you go only by Yukti, then Vastu can't be understood. Okay, Dvaita Mithyatvam of Jagat can be understood, but that Yukti alone cannot be a pramana for what is Satyam. Mithyatvam may be established, but Satyatvam to be established, you need pramana. That is that is Vedanta. Vichakshanahi by Jnanibihi. Vichakshanahi Nipunatara Vastudarshibihi is what Bhashyakara says. So people who can see it properly, because people can also interpret it to be saying that everything is Dvaitam. So Drishtam Vedanteshu Vichakshanahi, people who can understand it properly, who have clarity. And Pala also, like again and again I am saying, Anirmoksha Prasanga is there, then what is the use? What is the use of understanding the Jagat if it is not? Eventually, what do people want? Freedom, liberation, happiness. So that what is the pramana? This pramana gives you that, then only it is Brahmavid apnoti param. Param is moksha only. So the moksharthi only is looking at it. And if you are if you say the moksha is about death going to a place, then we have to evaluate it, right? You have to analyze whether that is the moksha we want. Yad etat द्वैतस्य असत्वमुक्तं युक्तितः एतत् वेदांत प्रमाण अवगतम् इत्याह. Okay, so whatever through yukti so far in 30 verses have been discussed is also reinforced, saying that it is known through the Vedanta Vakyas, the Satyatvam of it. The Mithyatvam is established in the 30 verses, but what is the Satyatvam? For that you need Vedanta Pramana. Swapnascha Maya cha Swapnamaye. Maya here is magic. Like he spoke about a Mayavi, right? Bhashyakara also spoke about how in the Nirmala sky a tree, forest is shown and all that. We saw that. That is Maya. And what is the truth of that Maya? The magic is the Mayavi himself. Like the rope trick he spoke in the first prakarana. A Mayavi goes up the sky and then fights, and hands and legs fall down, and then you then understand there was no such thing which happened, and it is the Mayavi which is the Satyam of all that happened. That Maya is what he's speaking about. The magic spun by the magician, that and Swapna, this Dvandva, Swapnascha Maya cha, Swapnamaye, Asadvastu Atmike, Satyau, Sadvastu Atmike iva Lakshiyate Aviveki Bihi. So though the Maya and Swapna are not true by themselves, they are seen. Nobody is saying we don't see a Swapna, we don't see a magic. But are they real? That is the question. No, Swapna's reality is your mind. Maya's reality is Mayavi. But you did see, or you do see a Swapna, you do see a magic. Okay, but there is no truth. That is how this Jagat is. You do see there is a perception, but there is no Satyatvam. Asadvastu Atmike Satyau Sadvastu Atmike iva Lakshiyate. The Satyatvam only is what is discussed. Sadvastu Atmike. Nobody is dismissing that you are seeing a Swapna or Maya. Okay. Again, that is again very longly understood. The word Maya means it is non-existent. Non-existence, yes, non-existent apart from it being the Vastu. Without it being the Vastu, Atma, they don't exist. Okay. Iva lakshyete avivekibhi yata cha prasarita panyapanagraha prasada sripunjanapada ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಆಕೀರ್ಣಮಿವ ಗಂಧರ್ವನಗರಂ ದೃಶ್ಯಮಾನಮೇವ ಸತ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾದಭಾವಗತಾಂ ಗತಂ ದೃಷ್ಟಾಂ. He talks about this Gandharvanagaram. He describes Gandharvanagaram, the imagined world in the clouds. So if you lie down in the night with clouds and moon and stars in the sky, just look at the sky in a clear place, like in villages and all, where there is not too much of smog or fog. Then you see in the night a formation which looks as though there is a Gandharva Nagaram, there is a world, sky world. And what all you see there is what Bhashyakara gives. Prasarita Panya Apana Griha Prasada. There are shops filled with objects, the market street. And Griha Prasada, there are big palaces, houses, and people also. Sri Punjana, Sri Pun Janapada, there are streets, ladies and men. Vyavahara Akirnamiva. So you are seeing all kinds of actions and sounds and things going on there as a market and the palaces and house. And so you imagine all this in the sky, and then wind blows and it just in front of your eyes vanish. Gandharva Nagaram Trishyamanameva Sat Akasmat Abhavatam Gatam Drishtam. Akasmat, without any reason, in a moment, they vanish. You saw the whole thing and it just vanished. Like that with Jnanam. One Shrutivakya Jnanam, all these seemed true. You were doing Vyavahara for so long. Suddenly you find that they are non-separate and not away and don't exist apart from being this Atma's consciousness which is there, which alone is there. Everything else has vanished in terms of their reality. Gone. Akasmat abhavatam gatam drishtam yata cha swapnamaye drishte asadrupe. You saw that whole Mayavi's world and then suddenly it's gone. Only Mayavi is standing on the stage. PC Sarkar comes and shows a elephant coming on stage. Suddenly it is gone. One screen, one cloth he puts in front of you, takes it away, elephant vanishes. Where did it go? It was never there. Asadrupe tatha vishwamidam dvaitam samastam asadrishtam. The whole world is asadrishtam. Satyatvam is gone moment in a moment. Kvetyaha. How is it gone? By what? Where it is? By what is that whole thing which may make it evaporate? Which is the wind which make the Gandharva Nagaram go away? Vedanteshu. Na iha nanasti kinchana. So this through Vakya. The nanatvam that you see, that iha, in this cognition right now, what you are seeing, iha. We are not saying tomorrow you will become Mukta Purusha. Yesterday you were Mukta. No, right now when you are here, in this, what you are seeing as this, in terms of spatially, in terms of object wise, in terms of time, whatever is there, there is only one thing which is seen as all this. Na. There is no, there is no second thing. Forget nana. There is only one thing. Indro maya vipurupayate. Indraha Ishraha Atma Paratma Bahurupaha Iyate. Maya Bihi Mayaya. Through Maya, it is seen as many. Just like a clay is seen as many pot and lid and all that, likewise this Vastu Atma is seen as this manifold Jagat. Atmaiva idam agre asit. Idam Jagat agre Atmaiva asit. Idam Atmaiva asti. Both. Asit means again Tatastha Lakshana. You have to remember again and again that one. Because this, what is seen as this is Atma. But this has no meaning actually. Only to show Atma, this is used. Like the crow is used to show the house. This idam, agre and all that is just used to show where is the Vastu. That's all. Atmaiva idam agra asit. Brahmaiva idam agre asit. So Atma eva Brahma. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. This is the pala. So here there is no Dvitiya. So the abhayam is there in Brahman, and Dvitiyad bhayam bhavati means there is no Dvaitam. So Brahmaiva asti. Therefore abhayam pratishtam vindate. Natu tad dvitiyam asti. Yatra tu asya sarvam atmaiva abhut. Whatever you are seeing sarvam, that is Atma. Ityadishu vichakshanaih nipunatara vastudarshibhi panditaih darshitam. The jnanis who can clearly understand the import of all these statements, by them, Ityadishu vichakshanaih, it is shown. And he gives one Pandita. Who can be the best Pandita? Jnani, Vyasa himself. Vyasa Smritehe. He quotes Tamashwabhra Nibam Drishtam Varsha Budbhuda Sannibham Nashaprayam Sukadhinam Nashottaram Abhavagam. What is this Jagat? Tamashwabhra Nibham. In the dark space, when there is no light, if there is a hole or a pit, then what kind of safety you have in that? If you were to pass through that place, you have to fall. Drishtam Varsha Budbhuda Sannibham. It is like the bubbles in the rain. They just burst before your eyes. Okay, it doesn't stay for a moment. And so it is one, it is a reason for dukkha. At the same time, it just vanishes also. And nashaprayam, if you take it as truth, it takes you towards nasha only. Whatever is this jagat dvaitam. Sukadhinam, there is no sukha in it. There is only temporary flashes of sukha, and that also comes from Atmastu. But you keep running after that sukha because of the samsaritvam, which is actually dukkha. It takes you away from your own swarupa. That is why it is dukkha. If Atma Vastu is sukha, then how can you be dukkhi? Because you are mentally moving away from your swarupa. The more and more you are away, the more and more dukkhi you are. Therefore, sukadhinam nashottaram abhavagam. Okay, it leads to destruction in a sense. So Atma can't be destroyed. If everything is Atma, what is destroyed? Your Swarupa is not available to you. Because your Swarupa is not available, there is Shoka. That's why this Nashottaram Abhavagam iti Vyasasmritehe न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वा न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता. These are kind of verses. It's again a summary verse. This is where Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham and Nirvana Shatkam, all these things, Atma Shatkam, there are so many similar I am not this, not this, not this kind of negations. Those shlokas are probably inspired from something like this. He's concluding after telling all this Shastra, this, that, Shastra also says na nirodha, na cha utpatti. There is no creation or destruction, na baddha. There is nobody bound. You can ask then why this Shastra? Nobody is bound. Because you take yourself as bound, this Shastra is there. Na cha sadhakaha. There is no sadhaka also. Because there is no baddha. Only when baddha is there, sadhaka has to be there. Na mumukshu. See, this whole Shastra is towards mumukshu. But Shastra says no mumukshu. Because this is the only Shastra which says, I don't exist. Navai mukta. There is no mukta. Mukta is only with reference to baddha. If you are a baddha, then you are mukta. But Atma Vastu is alone is there. Where is mukta? That is why again and again you have to remember everything is tatastha. This baddhatvam, muktatvam, sadhakatvam, mumukshu, all that is also to show vastu. Otherwise, there is if you actually talk only reality, you should just say Atma. That's all. What else you can say? There is no Karaka. There is no Baddhatvam, Muktatvam, Shastra, Mumukshuhu, Ityasha, Paramarthata. But then, for you to understand this, all these have to be taught. But actually speaking, Paramarthataha, none of these exist. That only that is the Tatparya, no? So to show that nothing else, nothing other than Atma exists, all this is spoken about. But finally he concludes saying that there is none of this. That's a Paramartha. That's why it is called Paramarthata. The finally, ultimately, in reality, none of these exist. Prakaranartha upasamharartha ayam shlokaha. This has actually some very good discussion by Bhashyakara. There's a big Bhashya here. He picks up this for a big discussion. How can you say? In fact, the Purva Pakshi asked this question. See, Janmadhyasya yataha. What is the definition of Brahma? Janmadhyasya yataha. From which everything yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yatprayant abhisham vishanti tad Brahma tad vijijnasasva tad Brahmeti is what is said. So definition of Brahman itself is the cause of this Jagat. So that is Brahma. Yasmat jataha jagat sarvam, all that is. So what is this Jagat born, where it is born from, that which sustains this Jagat, unto which everything goes back, that is Brahman. Janmadi yasya yataha, asya jagataha janmadi yasya. From which it is born, that is how Brahman is defined. Now suddenly you are saying, nacha utpattihi. How can you say that? This is a question he asks. So that's where you again, the answer is the same, obviously, right? Tatastha. It's only to show, because you only see the world. That's where we have to start. Like Shakagra Chandra Darshana Nyaya. You are seeing that Shaka only. You are seeing the tree. You are not able to see the third day's moon. So in order to lead you to that, we have to start from the tree. That's why this Jagat is spoken about. Srishti is spoken about. Panchikaranam, all that is. But finally, Shastra comes and says that न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धः न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुः न वै मुक्तः इति एषा परमार्थता. That is the ultimate. 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 That is the ultimate This is what is the actual truth. Na nirodha, chitta vritti nirodha. Nirodha means stopping. Stopping here is pralaya. Yada vitatam dvaitam atma eva ekaha paramartatah sanne tada idam nishpannam bhavati. The nishpatti is the conclusion. What is the conclusion? When dvaitam vitatam, whatever is seen as dual is not actually dual, it is vitata. Its nature is different, which is atma. And that atma alone is the only thing which is there. Atma eva ekaha paramartataha. If that alone is there, see, this whole chapter 30 verses came and said that there is no dvaitam, dvaitam, dvaitam. Okay, that is what you see is, then what is the truth? It will be the question. The truth is atma eva paramartataha. Then what is the conclusion? Idam nishpannam bhavati. What? Sarvoyam laukikaha vaidikascha vyavaharaha avidya vishayaha eveti. This is where many other Siddhantis like Vishtadvaiti and all will have a problem. Even Mimamsakas will have a problem. People will be okay to say Laukika Vyavaharaha Avidya Vishayaha, fine. But Shastra says Vaidika Vyavaharaha api Avidya Vishayaha eva. Even the Vaidika Vyavahara, the Vedic things that you do is also Avidya Vishayaha. What is Avidya? So Veda is Avidya, you can. Is that what you are saying? You will ask. Yes. Why? Because what does Veda say? Other than the Brahmavastu, Veda has so many things. Even the Brahmavastu, also the Vidya, it is within the Mithya, because there is no Baddhatvam. Then this Moksha Vidya also is Avidya only, technically. Karma Vidya, whatever this Yajna, Yaga, the Karma, is all based on Karaka Vyavahara. There is Agneya Swaha, Agneya Dannama, Agni who takes the offerings and then we offer. And there are things that is being offered, those are being offered. Unto the fire you offer, all this is Karaka. Everything is Karaka. Whole world is Karaka. Whether it is Vaidika or Laukya Vyavahara, it's all Karaka based. Anything and everything is Karaka. My Sukha Dukkha is Karaka only. Because I am the Dukhi and something is giving me Dukkha. I am the Sukhi, something is giving me Sukha. I am doing this. Everything is Karaka. There is a Karta, Karma, Karana, Sampradana, Apadana. The Karakas only make the Vyavahara. Samsara is Karaka Vyavahara. And whether it is Vaidika or Laukika Vyavahara, it is based on Karaka only. And Karaka means it's Avidya. So simple. And even Moksha also is Avidya because it assumes you are Baddha. The Baddhatvam itself is not true. Therefore, Laukikaha Vaidikascha Vyavaharaha Avidya Vishayaha. Anything other than Atma is Avidya. Only Vidya, Vastu is Brahma. Now, if I have to, then I have nothing to talk about it. But because there are people who are seeing themselves as bound, then Shastra comes into play. That's it. But Paramartataha, Laukika Vaidika Vyavaharaha Avidya Vishayaha eva. Tada na nirodha, nirodhanam nirodha pralayaha. When there is utpatti, only there is pralaya. Utpattihi jananam. There is no utpatti. Baddhaha samsari jivaha. There is no jiva. Jiva means again dvaitam. There is no dvaitam. There is no second thing. Jiva, Ishvara. All this comes into play only when there is dvaitam. There is sagunatvam. Savikalpatvam, when it is there, Vikalpa is there, then only Jiva, Ishvara, Samsara, Baddhatvam. There is nothing like that. It is all superimposed. When there is only clay, where is the question of this is a part, this is a lid, this is all that is only from Avidya perspective. Vastu perspective is only clay. Similarly, this Baddha, Samsari, Jivaha, all this. Many people don't understand this. They think everything is the Swayam Jyoti, Atma is the Jyoti on which world is seen. Somebody I was listening to someone talking about it. They say because the Atma, when it goes away, this Sarira cannot see, dead body cannot see. Therefore, because of Atma only you see the world. Therefore, Atma is the Jyoti. It's a very simplistic explanation which assumes only Jiva is the cause of everything. And there is going away, staying in the body, all that is taken as Paramartha Satyam. And then they talk the same Vedanta, but the Sarvavyapitvam, the Mithyatvam of even Jiva, Jivatvam also is Mithya only. That is not understood. Okay, Sarvavyapi Brahman, where can it go? So then what goes from the body is only Sukshma Sharira. And the identity with that Sukshma Sharira is gone. Now the Sukshma Sharira, Stula Sharira, whatever, all of them exist on Brahmavastu, and there is nothing other than Brahmavastu, and which is what the Atma, and it is lighting up everything. Until the Buddhi is there, the Buddhi can see in this body. Again, whether it is seeing Buddhi, non-seeing body, everything is Brahman only. So that is not understood. See, that is the Purna, that is the Vastu Jnanam, Purna Jnanam. Otherwise, taking this Jiva as and as the Jivatma, which is separate from the body, Deha Vetirikta Atma, as that is again, that is most of the Dvaiti, Vishishtadvaitis also take it that way, and people who claim to be Advaiti also have this kind of a concept. They don't understand the Sarvavyapitvam, Satyam Mithya. Satyam Mithya, once it is properly understood only, then Jnanam can be cognized. Otherwise, it's very vague thing. The vagueness should not be there. You have to gain sharper clarity. Swamiji was saying in his talk, someone says, I am not getting any doubts. Swamiji, people say there are doubts on Vedanta. That is what needs mananam. But I don't have any doubt. Is it okay? No, he says that this itself is a doubt. This is it okay you are asking because you have a doubt whether you have understood or not, because you are not getting any doubts. That itself is a doubt. So because there is vagueness, that's what he wanted to say. There is there should not be vagueness. You have to be clear. The Sarvavyapitvam is, it's not, we are not talking about Deha Vetirikta Atma as the Atma here. That is only Antakarana. Antakarana or Sukshma Sharira leaving is what is called, Deha Vilaya. But even then, Sarvavyapi Atma has to be still there, whether the Sukshma Sharira exists or not. So that is, you have to understand those things properly. So Utpattihi Jananam Baddhaha Samsari Jivaha Sadhaka. Samsari is the one who takes everything as Nana Jagat. Sadhakaha Sadhanavan Mokshasya. Mokshasya Sadhanam. What is the Sadhaka? Sadhaka means the one who has Sadhanam. What is the Sadhanam? Instruments. And Mokshasya Sadhanam means for moksha. What it means? Samadhi Shatka Sampattihi. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi. Okay, the sadhana sampat is what is the moksha sadhanam. Shamadamadi shatka sampattihi. Then mumukshutvam, all those things. That is sadhana chatushtayam. Those fourfold qualities. That is sadhakaha. One who pursues moksha. Mumukshuhu, mochanarti, muktaha, vimukta bandhaha. So utpatti pralayogo abhavat baddadayaha nasanti iti esha paramarthada. So this is, each one is dependent. When there is no Utpatti Pralaya, then where is the Baddhatvam, Jivatvam, everything? There is no creation, there is no Jagat, nothing. Then Katam Utpatti Pralayoho Abhavaha. How can you say there is no Utpatti nor Pralaya? Because Shastra itself says Atmani Akashas Sambhutaha, Atmanaha Akashas Sambhutaha, Akashad Vayuhu, Vayor Agnihi, Agner Apaha. It's all Srishti Krama only. यतो वा इमानि भूतानि जायन्ते तत् सृष्ट्वा तदेव अनुप्रवेशते अनुप्राविशत्. All those things. Bahusyam prajayeti. All this it talks about Srishti. There are so many Shruti Vakyas which says there is Srishti. How can you say there is no Utpatti Pralaya? So Bhashyakara quotes some other Veda Vakyas which shows there is no Utpatti Pralaya, because he is coming from the Shruti Vakya perspective. But then he will ask some very interesting questions we will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.